Hello everyone. Today we shall look into the utilization of Microsoft Power Platform within the business and what is its value. We shall try to understand. This is a Microsoft Learn content where you could go through the basics of it. I'll take you through each and every topic so that you could understand what are the things. Let us move into the introduction. Okay, what is our learning objectives within this session? What are the learning objectives within the session? Is that we could examine what is Microsoft Power Platform, what are the business values that it could add, what are the connectors that Power Platform could connect with. Okay, and we shall see how Microsoft Dataverse will help us organize business data, and how Power Platform works together with 365 apps and services, and how do we explore solutions using Power Platform Microsoft Teams, and how it works with Dynamics 365, as well as how it consumes the Azure services. And together, when we have seen these topics, we shall understand how Power Platform work together to create solutions, and finally we'll see how a Copilot could streamline the productivity and improve the things in a better way. So these are the few learning objectives as an introduction what we are going to understand. We'll continue to the next module. We'll see that okay, Microsoft Power Platform, it is a low code platform which can which spans Microsoft 365, Azure, Dynamic 365 and standalone apps. Now if you notice, we all know Power BI, which is a business and intelligence platform where we use it as a visualization tool. But along with that, Microsoft Power Platform has multiple components like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents and Power Pages. If you could notice, you have a basic understanding that Power Apps, it is helpful for app development, application development, where businesses could use it and make things better to generate revenue in the business, as well as make give better user experience for the clients. Power Automate, it helps in the process automation where number of working hours or a lot more time could be saved by automating things, thereby making things more efficient. Power Virtual Agents, what it does is it creates virtual agents, you could say as chatbots, where it chats with the user by providing if you provide the necessary data by utilizing the frequently asked questions or other data which you have, you can create a chatbot using Power Virtual Agents, thereby making the things more efficient. Power Pages, they are the external facing websites that you create, which are far more better than the other applications, because the Microsoft Power Platform features with respect to Power Pages are you know far more advanced and is continuously updating. Now if you notice, these are the 5 major platforms in the Microsoft Power Platform, and we have 3 additional things which support these Power Platform things. One is data connectors, where it has the ability to connect with multiple sources. Second one is AA Builder, and third one is Dataverse, where it accesses the data source, or you could say it is a pool of multiple resources that could be collected at one common source. Okay, now we shall move further and understand these things about all these tools. As I mentioned, Power Apps, it is a low code development environment where one could build the custom apps for business needs. Okay, using Microsoft Dataverse, we could, or else even the cloud sources, we can make web and mobile applications which could run on multiple devices. Okay, and most of the out of the box solutions which business needs, it could be fulfilled by the Power Apps application. Next thing, as I told, that Power Automate, it helps to create automated workflows, so it which could like help us in saving productive hours, either like drafting a mail or approving mails, or you can even create enterprise grade process automation solutions which could simplify, or which does not require much technical competence in order to automate any tasks. Okay, Power BI, I hope we are familiar with this business analytics service which delivers insights by analyzing data through visualizations. We can make reports and dashboards to enable the fast, quick decisions that a client could take across the business. And within the organization, it could help us even build a robust governance and security, which could enable this Power BI platform grow very rapidly. We have this power virtual agents. As I have mentioned, we could create very powerful chatbots using a guided or very no code or low code graphical interface, and it minimizes the IT effort in order to deploy those chatbots where the customer or client could discuss or solve the problems just by chatting with the bots, where they could answer the frequently asked questions or common questions and help the customer quickly. So even these virtual agent chatbots thing, they could create a power automate flow where the automatic activities are being done in the back end, where there is no manual involvement. And moving ahead, as I have mentioned, there are Power Pages, which is a more secure enterprise grade low code software. We could call it as SaaS, like software as a service, which helps in creating, hosting and administering modern external facing business websites. So if you are a low code maker, if you are a professional developer, it always enables you to create a good design and configure and publish websites which could seamlessly work in multiple browsers and devices. So this Power Pages, it is a new tool in the Microsoft Power Platform family, but it is continuously being updated, and the data which is shared, it is commonly used through Microsoft Dataverse for building, which is also used for building apps, workflows and this chatbots, and also reports and other things. Now these three things which I have told, AI Builder, Microsoft Dataverse and connectors, I'll just quickly tell that AI Builder will allow users and developers to add AI capabilities. If you notice this AI capabilities, it means that they can use the AI features in order to create that low code, or even add multiple features into it, where they could automate things and also improve the business performance without writing any code. This Microsoft Dataverse, as I have mentioned, it acts as a pool for managing multiple data sources, which could integrate the business applications. And connectors, as I have mentioned, these connectors of Power Platform, they are capable of connecting with over 900 pre-built connectors. Okay, so you could understand the data could be fetched from most of the common data sources, whether it is Salesforce, Office 365, Twitter, Dropbox, Google services and many more. I hope you have understood this Power Platform components, and like what are the tools and how are they related to each other. Let us move on to this next topic, which is describe the business value of Power Platform. Now you could understand, since these platforms it is used by the businesses, they could impact in multiple ways. First thing is changing workforce expectations in businesses, like since they have to accommodate both millennials and Gen Z people, like there are much differences where the work has to be distributed based upon their understanding, and also collaborating through social media or multiple things which has to be streamlined. Those digital experiences could be solved by using this Microsoft Power Platform related tools. Second thing is increased cost for custom application development. If you understand, building custom applications is very time consuming and expensive, but Power Apps, it will help you to make a very low code platform where it is more cost effective, as well as very easy to implement, and quickly also we can implement. Third thing is we need to become more agile, right? So many times clients require the application development quickly because they don't want to lose the business just because of not building an application. So in order to be more quicker, so earlier we used to take a lot many months to build and roll out the applications, but these days we don't have such luxury. So business strategies and everything, the needs has to quickly change. So even solutions we want very quickly, which makes this apps and power platform related things much more meaningful. And the fourth thing which it impacts, it is the need to scale development efficiently. To meet the ever changing needs, you could in order to develop solutions, there are people, even normal citizens, right? There normal citizens who does not have any technical experience, but they can even create a platform or create an application. They are called as citizen developers. They are called as power users. So these days we can see these citizen developers who has no relevant background, but they are able to use these free platforms, or you could say very less expensive platforms, and where they could build many more great things to in order to accommodate the business requirements, as well as they can empower the organization to grow. Okay, these are the things where it could majorly impact. And for example, there is a technician where suppose some inventory is missing. Okay, there is a technician who wants to get informed. So if at all they could have an app, they could see what are the equipment available and what is out of stock. They could order it priorly, or they could inform the management priorly, so that things doesn't go bad for the customer or client. And similarly, even if the things are available, many times manager approvals would be required, where offline, or you could say time taking things are there, where they using Power Automate and Power Apps, things could be made much better in order to save the time, right? So we have these platforms which helps us with respect to cost benefits, improving the performance, efficiency, flexibility. We have all these ever changing needs. We have got the capability with the help of Microsoft Power Platform to build efficient things. Let us understand few more things. For example, uh, these connectors, as I have mentioned, that there are over 900 connectors. For example, there is a requirement that there are invoices which has to be received in emails, and a management company uses Microsoft Exchange for processing emails. So these attachments, they are downloaded and stored in Microsoft SharePoint, and each invoice has to be sent to a specific person for approval. Okay, the approval is made in Microsoft Teams, and once the approval is approved in the Microsoft Teams, they are sent for the invoices to be generated within ERP systems. And the management company, they use Oracle. Once the invoices are generated or entered into the ERP system by using Oracle, the confirmation mail has to be sent with the invoice number back to the vendor. So suppose this is a requirement, we need multiple tools to utilize. For example, we need Outlook to receive the mail. To store the data, we need SharePoint. We need Teams to get the approval of the request or deny the request, and we need Oracle in order to generate the details or input the details of the invoice. And again, we need Outlook for dedicated mailbox to send the invoice back to the vendor. So these requirements, which are quite dynamic, we need to have the connectors capable of making these things possible using connectors. It is possible by Microsoft Power Platform, since we have connectors. And also Microsoft Dataverse, it acts as a secured storage for the businesses, so that the data could be stored in tables, or with certain data types, as well as the other secure data. It validates and helps us in improving the productivity. Okay, similarly, as I have explained the technician example, we have multiple examples for a real estate company, financial company, auto repair company, and multiple companies. Why we use Dataverse? Because it has few benefits. First thing is it is easy to manage. Okay, both the metadata and data is stored in the cloud, so we do not have any issue to manage the data in cloud. Second thing is it is easy to secure, because the role based security, it will allow you to control access to the tables for different users within your organization. Third thing is very rich metadata, because the data types and relationships are directly used within Power Apps, so it has rich metadata which you do not need to worry about. And the fourth thing is logic and validation, where you define calculated columns or business rules or workflows which could help to ensure the data quality and drive business solutions, make it feasible. There are productivity tools which will be available within the add-ins of Microsoft Excel to increase the productivity and to ensure the data accessibility by using the Dataverse. And these are the major benefits of using it, and also connecting with the connectors. It is used very heavily. Moving ahead, let us understand how it works with Microsoft 365 apps and services. So these are few connectors which could include like Office 365 Outlook, Office 365 users, Excel, and SharePoint. These are the four major connectors which are available and are utilized. Apart from that, as I have said, there are even more than 900 plus connectors in order to connect and utilize. As you could understand, this data base administrators, managers, and end users, in order to increase the productivity, like we have to use the applications. For example, a typical person might receive 100 mails or 200 mails. If he spends all the time to download the files which are present in those mails, it would be quite difficult to manage the time. For example, we create a Power Automate flow where all the mails received with the attachments, if they are saved in a particular folder based upon the date, it could save his lot of time. Even if it is 20 to 30 times, if he is trying to do it per day, he might save two hours a week, so which could be a great thing. Similarly, in order to reduce that very monotonous tasks, Power Automate helps a lot. Let us understand how this Power Platform works with Teams. Here you could notice in Power Apps, here there is a visual, but I'll show you this thing. This Power BI, okay, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, Dataverse, and as well as the virtual assistant for Teams. There are these tools, okay, which could help each and everyone in order to manage all the things within Teams. One has no need to go to another tool as well for any other requirement. Everything could be done within the Teams, where we have all the applications which could be integrated with the Teams. So this is like a robust facility where Microsoft will help us in order to create very easy solutions and also quickly implementable solutions. For example, here you could notice that even in Teams we have some helper bots being created. For example, for a real estate company, for the commonly asked questions, it gives the automated input or also output based upon the question that we ask. And if any other further requirements are there, even those data would be collected and further it will be processed and shared in the SharePoint, so that further employees could take it and help with the solutions. So many dynamic solutions are possible in order to create and utilize these bots. This is one of the example where you could see that chatbots could be built within Teams. Similarly, Power BI reports could be integrated with Teams, and even Power Apps and other things could be integrated with the Teams, as I have mentioned. And with respect to Dynamics 365 apps, I could tell that it is a Dynamics 365. It is a set of intelligent business applications which could help the organization to run their business through productive and AI driven insights. Okay, whether it is finance or any other domain, usually we have the sales and customer service. Dynamic 365, it has various ERP related solutions as well as the customer engagement applications. So there are many ways where Power Platform works with Dynamics 365 products. For example, we create model driven applications, right? In Power Apps we build model driven applications which could help the data being stored in Microsoft Dataverse, and also these components may be in the in the form of forms, views, chats and dashboards in order to present the data to the end users. And if we could notice the other Power Platform components, they are used by Dynamic 365. These are the few Power Platform tools like Power BI, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, Pages. Okay, these four things we are familiar, right? So they could all be integrated with the Dynamics 365 field service. Okay, or you could say Dynamic 365 data. It could integrate and develop the applications. Okay, which could be more dynamic and also being helpful to the business. I shall continue to the next solution, which could consume the Azure services. For example, there is some flight airline system data within our database, so that if at all we are trying to connect with custom APIs. Okay, that custom APIs we have in order to develop the applications, it could be linked to the Power Apps. Okay, again, as soon as it is being linked to the Power Apps using custom APIs, we have a Graph API interface in order to relate it to the Azure storage. As soon as it relates to the Azure storage, we have some Azure functions which could enable or trigger the application which could be existing in Teams, and thereby involving Azure Event Hubs, which could in turn give the necessary output which is related to the data lake storage. So this data lake storage it could be connected with this Power BI platform where visualization could be taken place. Now after connecting with Azure storage, you could see that the user has to know the status of it, right? So in order to make it possible, we have something called Azure Bot Service, where we automate things in order to inform the users, right, what is the status of the application. Suppose a customer is trying to book a flight, or whether he is trying to find out how things are working. This is how Azure helps to deal with the Power Platform and help the client. Here we have, it is mentioned in a simple 7 steps. We airline system, it connects with custom API. Okay, the custom API, it receives the notification and handles incoming messages, and thereby it could connect to Microsoft Team channels and send that to Microsoft Power Apps. Okay, after that, when a user selects a flight to monitor, when the system assigns the user to a flight, the system queues a Graph API call in a Azure storage account, as I have mentioned in this 4th step. Okay, this account this Azure storage, the account queue, it further processes, as I have mentioned, this Azure functions. They take the incoming messages and further pass on to the teams, and thereby eventually passing on to Azure Event Hubs for further analytics. Okay, this airline notification system, it is managed by the custom bot using the Azure Bot Service as in order to automate and get the user updates whenever required or whenever triggered. All these things are working on Azure Data Lake Storage, which offers a long-term retention. Okay, which offers a long-term retention and also micro batch processing of events within the event hubs. This is how Microsoft Azure will help us connect with the Power Platform and help us create more dynamic solutions for the necessary businesses. Okay, let us understand how these Power Platform apps work together. For example, we have a real estate company where the agents need quickly how to search property listings within the particular area, and how to intake new properties, which when working with the new sellers, how to capture the property details, snap the pictures, and schedule the open houses when it is needed. And the real estate company managers, they have to do these things. They have to easily see which properties are currently listed. They have to ensure that whether the property inspections are conducted as needed. They have to identify similar properties in this area, and they have to access many important informations related to the property and what are the incoming offers further in order to manage. And when they have a singular area or a particular area where they can analyze the current landscape of the properties where they are selling, and drive their business actions according to the decisions which are taken using these tools. Additionally, they can use the Microsoft Outlook as the primary email application and Teams for their continuous usage. So in the businesses, you could notice that Microsoft Teams, it is quite a like handy tool where it helps in very lot more communication, and which is more even essential. So this is how we could integrate multiple tools using a business use case. And then if at all we understand how to use artificial intelligence to increase productivity, we have this Power Apps application. Okay, this is a Power Apps application interface where you could okay, I'll zoom in. Here you could see that in Power Apps interface we have this something called Copilot. If you ask the questions, the AI feature, it will help you to answer the questions, even if it is a low code one, even if it is with respect to features. While building new applications, you have this AI assistant within the Power Apps home screen, just like this. Here you see right highlighted one. So our assistant, then it generates a Dataverse table where we can build the Canvas app based upon the query generated. So this Copilot, it will help us with the low code and no code, we using the creation of Power Apps, and make many more automated things as well. Even in Power Automate, you could notice that for a particular scenario, suppose that when you start this Power Automate flows, it might hard to begin, but the Cloud Flows designer with the Copilot will help you to create the automations very quickly and using the natural language expressions. In the normal language, you ask the question to the Power Automate, it understands your intent and creates a flow based on the scenario that you provide. For example, if you ask that what does my flow do, or when someone sends me an email mentioning me, send me a Teams message. Okay, someone mails me, now we want to get that message as a Teams message. You'll be creating a flow like this, like when a new mail is mentioning you, then you'll get a this Microsoft Office 365 application triggered, which could post that message in your chat or channel. Okay, all these things are interconnected using your credentials, but this Copilot will help you to understand that flow in a very easy way. Similarly, we have this Copilot within the Power Virtual Agents, where we can create the chatbots by asking simple questions. For example, you can see that for example, it has given that let someone order a pizza, choosing from the common pizza types and how many they want to order. If you want to make such a chatbot, you could just tell the Copilot that I want some interface where I need to provide user an opportunity to order the pizza and also mention the quantity and the type of pizzas. And you could accept the username, age, date of birth, and repeat the responses back to them to confirm. And once they confirm, you could collect the user street address, state, zip code, and also the user should be able to retry this each time, at least each question at least multiple times, so that in order to get validated, or else we could create some good and feasible approach to to get it implemented. Okay, this is all about the introduction of Microsoft Power Platform. Let us see some practical user experiences with respect to Microsoft Power Platform. If you type Microsoft Power Platform stories in Google, Okay, I'm typing this Microsoft Power Platform stories in Google. I have this website of Power Apps. Okay, here you could notice that Power Platform stories, we have multiple stories, even hundreds of stories. Even in YouTube we have 75 plus Power Platform customer stories. Here you could notice that if you click on this link, you'll go to the YouTube, and you'll be able to see that 75 plus videos which are practically implemented by multiple companies. And even you could see this that we have certain record. For example, there are 15 plus center of excellence stories, 100 plus stories curated by Power CAT, 12 plus industries highlighted. Okay, now I'll show you few things. Here A to Z stories is there. In Accenture, a company, you could see that it has enabled more than 7 lakh data driven employees to work anytime and anywhere. That is a fantastic thing, right? Even there is some ADH clinic where the small business owner transitioned from paper to digital, enabling her to stay open and continue delivering treatments during COVID-19 pandemic. This solution includes, you could see that Microsoft Bookings, Forms, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Dataverse tools are used in order to automate things for the clinic during the pandemic situation. Similarly, in India, SBI, HDFC Bank, and even multiple companies, they are trying to adopt this Power Apps solutions, Microsoft Power Platform solutions, in order to provide good user experience, as well as uh, build a good robust business. Okay, in this way you could see hundreds of practical real stories here, which could even motivate you to build a robust application or automate things, or you could add on to the value of your profile or business, and you could grow further. Okay, I hope you have understood the Microsoft Power Platform so far. Let us do a quick knowledge check. Okay, now which of the Power Platform components would you use when you need to create a customer facing website with self support options? I believe I could create Power Pages in order to create a website, so I marked it. Here, when your team has become frustrated with number of times where they have to perform basic data entry on a project startup, there are many divisions who need the information, and sometimes human error results in mistakes, making it more difficult to make sense of your information. Which program could be most help in this situation? I believe we could create this Power Automate kind of thing. Okay, a client likes the idea of implementing Microsoft Power Platform solution, but he is concerned with the ability to interact with the custom API. Now Microsoft Power Platform, it offers the ability to create custom connectors for this purpose, which will allow you to connect to Power Apps and Power Automate. I'll check this one. Let us check the answers. Okay, now you could see that our answers are correct. I hope you are able to understand so far. And let us see the summary. This is all the things which we have studied so far. What is the Microsoft Power Platform, what are the connectors, how we are able to connect with multiple things, and at the end how Copilot helps. And I hope you have understood what is Microsoft Power Platform so far. This is all for today. Thank you everyone for attending. Have a nice day.